stay for a year, others for 20 or 25 years or more. To get an idea of the accommodations inside, go ahead and reach your arms out as far as you can from side to side. That's how wide an Alcatraz cell is, 5 feet across. Now reach your hands up high above your head. That's how tall, and only a bit longer from end to end. The cell house might look huge from here, but it was never completely filled. No more than 300 inmates lived inside at any time. 300. They could all fit on this boat ride today. Notice the circular water tower. Alcatraz is surrounded by water, but on the island itself, not a drop. Fresh water had to come from San Francisco, and not by any pipeline. 2 or 3 times a week, a barge arrived, full of 180,000 gallons of fresh water. It was pumped up into that tank. The tall smokestack marked the Alcatraz powerhouse. One thing that couldn't be brought out here by boat was electricity, so they made their own. One young man was only 21 years old when he first climbed onto the rock. His name was Frank Heaney, and he was a guard. In fact, the youngest guard ever to serve on Alcatraz.
I had a very difficult time. They really took advantage of my age. Those things that they left the company, they're very mental, so that I can be human. They had no tailor-made cigarettes, they had no candy bars, chewing gum, soft drinks, radio, television, newspapers, rolls, programs. They had none of that.
Residents of Alcatraz considered themselves the elite among convicts.
But on the rock, I'm not trying to feather my hat on them, but they handled a lot of class. You could say they were a higher caliber criminals. They were more or less professional people who were out mail processing banks and so forth. Some were cut above average criminals. Robert Strout, Birdman, Al Capone, Mickey Cohen, Frankie Garbo, Machine Gun Kelly. They just been a stupid fool like I was, and that's the way most of the other cons felt about because everybody was the same on the rock.
Nobody learned that faster than Alphonse Big Al Capone, Mr. Scarface himself. Capone ruled like a king in any other prison, but here on the rock, he mopped floors just like anybody else. With no one to protect him, Capone was a sitting duck. The big man was roughed up, beaten, and even stabbed. But Capone had carried his real killer with him at Alcatraz. A case of untreated syphilis was eating his brain and slowly driving him insane. He ended up locked in the bug cage, the fenced-off section of the hospital for mental patients. Joe the tough guy, Capone fought with his wardens, not with guns or knives, but with bedpans, full bedpans. Afterwards, the once mighty crime czar had to be washed off with a hose. Look up ahead at the 3-story guards barracks above the landing dock. You'll also see a metal frame tower at the right corner of the dock.
The tower that you see in front of us is the dock tower. It was manned 24 hours a day. It had a large group of weapons, had a 30-06 rifle, 30 caliber rifle, tear gas gun, 38 revolver. Men were shot and killed from the tower. One officer would sit up on the top of that tiny tower, 75 feet above the island, locked in for 8 hours at a time, watching, just watching, no matter what kind of weather.
Sometimes you thought you were in heaven.
George Stephen Chinn, Alcatraz guard in the 50s.
I was in the dock tower the day that they closed the Golden Gate Bridge. They had over 100-mile-an-hour gales. I'm on that dock tower, and that was swinging and swaying like Sandy Kaye's music. The water in the commode was spinning around. The tower was shaking, and I said, my God, if this goes over, I'm going to end up in the bay, locked up in this cage.
On the walls of the guards barracks, you can still see writing.